Is this a huge embarrassment for Zelensky, as even a heavily guarded defense expo proved not safe enough to protect industry representatives from a devastating Russian missile strike? Did Ukraine's air defenses genuinely fail to stop this attack, as more than 100 people ended up injured at what should have been a secure arms exhibition? Was this Russian missile strike on a Kyiv weapons event actually direct revenge for Ukraine's repeated attacks on Wildberries, often described as Russia's own version of Amazon? Did this Russian attack come just hours after Ukraine struck both Wildberries logistics hubs and a major military factory deep inside Russian territory? Has Ukraine now targeted Russia's largest online retailer yet again, before turning its long-range missiles toward a critical defense manufacturing firm as well? On July 24, Ukraine struck a major Russian defense factory located in Kirov, using its own domestically developed Flamingo cruise missile to carry out the attack. According to the Kyiv Independent, Kirov lies approximately 1,200 kilometers away from Ukrainian-controlled territory, underscoring just how far the strike actually reached. Reports confirmed that this particular strike specifically targeted the Avitek military production facility located within the city. Kirov's regional governor, Alexander Sokolov, confirmed that 6 factory workers were killed as a direct result of this attack. Sokolov added that another 26 people were injured in the strike before emergency crews managed to bring the resulting fire under control. The Kyiv Independent reported that this targeted factory actually belongs to Almazanty, one of Russia's largest and most significant defense manufacturing giants. Avitek is known for manufacturing air defense missiles alongside critical parts used in Russian aircraft and various broader missile systems. This same facility also builds launchers specifically used for Russia's Iskander, Yars, and Topol missile systems, making it a genuinely high-value strategic target. Ukrainian drones also targeted Wildberries logistics hubs located in both St. Petersburg and Tver during this same coordinated wave of strikes. Fires were subsequently reported breaking out at Wildberries sites in both Shushary and Novosaratovka following these targeted drone strikes. Wildberries confirmed that operations at its St. Petersburg logistics centers had to be temporarily suspended as a direct result of the damage. Notably, Wildberries facilities have now faced a full 5 days of Ukrainian attacks within just a single week, showing a clear pattern of sustained targeting. Around 50 flights were delayed at St. Petersburg's Pulkovo airport as a direct consequence of the disruption caused during this attack. These strikes come as Kyiv continues pushing its long-range missile and drone campaign even deeper inside Russian territory than before. Meanwhile, a Russian ballistic missile struck an arms exhibition being held near Kyiv on that very same day, July 24. Prosecutor General Ruslan Kravchenko confirmed that 10 people died in this strike, while more than 100 others were left injured. Ukraine's Defense Industry Council confirmed that numerous industry representatives had been present at the exhibition location when the missile struck. Air raid sirens had sounded shortly before Kyiv Mayor Vitaly Klitschko publicly reported hearing explosions across the capital. This attack came at a moment when Ukraine's newly appointed army chief had already been actively increasing tensions between Moscow and Kyiv. Ukraine's newly appointed commander-in-chief Mikhail Drapetyi said Russia has no right to exist. The remarks come from an interview recorded in 2023 that has only now been made public, according to RT. Mikhail Drapetyi said, and I quote, "We see that you cannot call them neighbors. It is a nation, together with its leadership, that has no right to exist. Over thousands of years, nothing has changed there in civilizational terms, neither its mentality nor its imperial ambitions. That is why the population there lacks a Ukrainian national consciousness. That's my opinion. It seems that too little attention was paid there to Ukrainization." Unquote. Drapetyi also made controversial remarks about residents of Donetsk and Luhansk. He claimed the regions had long been dominated by settlers and criminal elements. The Ukrainian commander argued that many people in Donbass lacked a Ukrainian national identity. He also claimed that too little Ukrainization had taken place across the region. According to Drapetyi, many residents simply did not care which country they belonged to. He further argued that dependence on state support had shaped attitudes across Donbass. Russia's foreign ministry condemned Drapatyai's remarks, calling them openly neo-Nazi. Moscow says Kyiv has long discriminated against Russian-speaking communities. Russian officials argue Ukraine's language and cultural policies are erasing Russian identity. The Kremlin continues to cite the treatment of Russian speakers as one of the reasons behind the conflict. Mikhail Drapatyai first rose to prominence during Ukraine's military campaign in Donetsk and Luhansk in 2014. He was appointed commander-in-chief after President Zelensky removed Oleksandr Syrsky. The leadership overhaul followed nationwide protests after the dismissal of former defense minister Mikhail Fedorov. Ukraine's wartime leadership crisis has reached a breaking point after days of public protests. President Volodymyr Zelensky dismissed Commander-in-Chief Oleksandr Syrsky on July 21st. The move followed mounting pressure after Defense Minister Mikhail Fedorov was removed. Thousands of Ukrainians demanded Syrsky's dismissal, calling for sweeping military reforms.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you'll have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Have you ever wondered what happens when a banking dynasty meets tides of world history, intrigue, and a dash of myth?
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.